Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Muscatine in Focus. I'm your host, Chad Bishop. In this week's episode, we will be hearing from Muscatine Power and Water, who will be discussing the reliability and restoration of public power with Ryan Streck and line workers who actually provided mutual aid down in Fort Myers, Florida. But first up, let's check out this week's special event media showcase. November 4th and 5th at the former Central Middle School Auditorium is the return of the Muscatine Music and Independent Film Festival. The auditorium will be transformed into a movie theater this weekend. Each film block features a wide variety of genres to accommodate lots of viewing options. Plus, you get to hear from filmmakers themselves, on stage or even at the red carpet parties. If short films aren't of interest, the music festival begins at the Mississippi Brew each night at 8 p.m., featuring local and regional artists. Let's check it out. You are not going to want to miss this year's Muscatine Music and Film Festival, featuring short films, music videos, performances, and our legendary after parties. The festival kicks off November 4th with our Friday film blocks, student films, micro shorts, sci-fi, experimental, murder, mayhem, and more. All happening at the CMS Auditorium on our brand new 300-inch projection screen. Later that night, the music festival blows up at the Mississippi Brew with performances by DJ J-Dub, JMJ and FTB Records, Edward Floyd with cast Baby J, and DeAndre Smith. The festival begins at noon on Saturday with 4 great films, including the hilarious featurette New West. Next up, we present the Diversity Film Block, which features the Iowa premiere of Valentine Crush. We crank up the volume at 4:30 for our exclusive music video and performance film block. This event not only features our music video submissions, but also performances by J-Dub, DeAndre Smith, and our headlining performer, Random Tanner. Then the red carpet party begins with the arrival of our VIP limo bus. The evening film block caps off our screenings with some great regional productions, including many from our Iowa filmmakers. The music festival gets amped up at 8 p.m. with Jesus on the mix, and the alternative grunge rock styling of Murnau following his lead. Then kick back at 9:30 for our rewards presentations to see who took home the coveted Myth trophy reels.
Somebody listening to me on the other side of the speakers is blessed. Everything's flex, used to be yes, but I'm sick of waking up in a mess. I know what's best is.
Random Tanner will take things from there to entertain festival attendees with all of his most popular releases. Tulsa natives BNC and guest Lover B will keep the party rolling until Jesus shuts us down while turning us up till close. Filmmakers from across the Midwest will be in attendance to celebrate their films, and this year's MC is the widely recognized actress, singer, and dancer JoJo Monkey. Tickets available online and at the door. Visit dreampostmedia.com for more info.
Hi, I'm Ryan Streck, Director of Utility Service Delivery here at Muscatine Power and Water. Whenever there's a natural disaster, MPW, as well as over 1,000 other municipal utilities, band together and are ready to provide assistance for those that need it. So the effort's well organized by the American Public Power Association. They put together a program called Mutual Aid Partners, and there you can sign up with your extra resources, and when you're called, you're expected to go down and help out with the restoration. So for this event, Hurricane Ian, there was 44,000 line workers on standby. MPW was called, and along with a few others in the local area, headed down to New Smyrna Beach, Florida to aid in the assistance effort.
New Smyrna Beach, they contacted the mutual aid department and sent out a thing needing assistance. They had a lot of flooding and trees down. Out of 30,000 metered customers, they had 27,000 without power the day that we arrived. So And so where we were at New Smyrna Beach, they had 120 linemen, contractors and municipal companies that were there working. First 3 days of work was we were in a foot to 2 foot of water the entire time. The very last day was the only day they took us to the beach side, and that was the only day that we weren't trudging around in water. So yeah, it was interesting.
For a while, were you actually having to find the wires in the water to get the equipment, or were you just stringing new conductors and new equipment?
So a lot of the times we were down there, most of it was like flooding, but trees would take it down. So we'd have like 3 or 4 spans of wire that was down, but it would be laying in the palm fronds and then in the trees itself. So it was easy to locate it, but we did. I kind of hate grabbing that stuff that's been hit by a tree and everything else. So we would grab new conductor, and that's what usually we string in and redo with new conductor. But yeah, so down there in Florida, they kept on talking about how everybody loves their palm trees, and so they can't trim them, they can't cut them back. So that was the majority of their problem, was just the fact that they have no tree programs for trimming back or anything like that. And so 90% of the lines that came down was due to trees, or broken poles was due to trees.
One thing great about the mutual aid program is it's not just workers and vehicles. There's also a whole website that inventories equipment like transformers and those things that have really long lead times, especially now with all the COVID supply chain backups that we've seen. So being able to put the word out that you need different pieces of equipment and being able to get those through a huge network of municipal utilities, that really makes a difference in times like this.
And so like New Smyrna, when it did happen, they sent out a thing of how many people they needed, what vehicles they needed, what equipment they needed. And we ended up meeting up with 2 guys from Eldridge, and they had a rear lot machine, a newer one. We have one also, but ours is older. It's going to be getting replaced, but they had a newer one. And so we met up with them, and they were great guys, 2 linemen, Gabe and Tate. And they worked with us the whole time. So we were able to get in rear lots and things where most bucket trucks couldn't get to. So we were actually overly fortunate, because 90% of the time when you go to these storms or anything like that, they have tents set up and camp set up at the show up. We were fortunate that they were able to find us hotels. So we had a hot shower every night, and we were able to get cleaned. And especially trudging around in the swamp water like we were the whole time, it would have been miserable. But if we had to do it in a camp. But we were fortunate this time. We ended up buying hammocks though, because we thought we were going to have to string them up between the trucks and sleep at night. But we were lucky. They did find us hotels. So.
Did you see any alligators or snakes?
No, they kept on warning us every day. We'd talk to it, and we had a guy that actually worked for New Smyrna Beach, the utility there, and he was always warning us every day of, beware of the gators and snakes and everything. But yeah, we looked all over for them, didn't see a single one. We were really lucky because the weather, right after the storm came through, they said it's usually not like that at all, but it was low 80s, beautiful weather. We didn't get any rain, and the bugs were not bad at all. They said give it another week, and then with all the swamp water and receding water, that it was gonna be horrible down there. So.
Did you get assigned, or did you volunteer?
To a degree, we weren't forced, to go or anything. They asked. We have a little bit of a list going as far as previous mutual aid, things we've assisted with. And I think that it was just, we didn't get to go the last couple times, so we were top of the list. They asked us if we wanted to go, and we agreed.
And really for us, it's this is the type of work we like and we want to do and help out. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned anyway, and I think these guys would agree, it was an opportunity for us to go and help. Yeah, I mean, it's, you got to be on your A game the whole time and kind of look at the big picture of things and see what's really going on. And, we took the safe approach with it. Felt good about the work we were doing.
That's why we do what we do. We go out there, we want to get power back on to as many people as possible and as safe as possible. And the people that, give us gratitude and thank us, that's what it's all about. And we were down there, and I don't think there was one person that didn't come out and thank us for what we were doing and everything else. And so yeah, the people down there were awesome. They were great.
It's rewarding, in the aspects that you get to show up. They're out of power, they're miserable, they haven't showered. You go there, You know, we've had wet boots and wet feet all day, and you don't hear any of us. We never complained. We just did our work, you know, and it was rewarding to get their power back on. You know, they were coming out thanking us. You know, people were driving by honking their horns,
Offering food,
ladies gave
offering
us
water.
sweet tea. You know, I mean, it was pretty cool.
Once down there, how long did it take to complete your mission?
So we stopped in Tallahassee on Friday, which the storm was passing through New Smyrna at that time. We got there Friday. Friday night after the storm had passed through, and we ended up leaving. We were the very last crew to leave. They sent everybody home, all the contractors and everybody. Us and the guys from Eldridge were the very last ones to leave on Tuesday. We got to the lot, and they actually had to close the lot because everybody else went home and left and went back home. So, and they had a bunch of contract companies down there also, and everything else out of that 120. So, yeah, we got everybody back up. We had, I think, when we finally ended up leaving on Tuesday, there was like 30 some customers that were still out of power, but they were ones that the houses were completely flooded. We couldn't get power back to them anyways. And so when they finally cut us loose and sent us home,
We felt good about being the last crew that left. I mean, they kind of handpicked our crew. You know, we felt like to stay the longest because we felt like we did quality work.
Yeah, for what we were doing and how we worked and how safe we were being and everything, they kind of went out of their way to make sure that we stayed and sent everybody, even the contractors that they paid that's part of their system, even their guys they sent home. So we were kind of fortunate to be down there. We did a good job, and we had good guys. So,
You know, one question I had was, it's kind of a two-part question. How fast will these trucks run down the road, and how fun is it to sit in one of these for about 30 hours?
It's not fun.
They go the speed limit.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't too bad, and they go exactly the speed limit the whole way. It's amazing. We took 3 vehicles down. We took a pickup truck, we took a bucket truck, and we took one of our digger derricks.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest parts of my job is to sit back and watch these crews just deliver, you know, time after time, no matter what the event is, hurricane, derecho, tornado, it doesn't matter. Either our group or with the mutual aid partners, we'll get it done and keep the lights on.
And that too, you know, like other guys have gone, like they went to New Jersey, you know, Neil Gaunt and those guys. I mean, we've gone places before, and I mean, all the guys have done exceptional with it. I mean, it's something nice that Power and Water allows us to do. You know, they could easily say, no, we're going to stick our guys around here and not going to help out, but being a mutual aid and going and helping, you know, our brothers and people that are in dire need. I mean, that's truly one of the best things that we do around here. So, yeah, they had horrible weather, and they had to sleep in their trucks, and they had to sleep in a campsite, and so we were really fortunate. The weather was wonderful, and the bugs weren't bad, and we had a hotel. So I mean, it was better than could have been expected, I guess. So.
One thing I asked early on was get us some good pictures while you're down there, because there's nothing like seeing an MPW truck with, you know, all kinds of damage behind it, because we don't get pictures of palm trees and the beach and things. Wow. This group did an amazing job of getting us some pictures, and one of my favorite was an MPW line truck right on the beach. And we thought, you know what they really need? FR Hawaiian shirts. So next time they go...
Explain what FR is.
Go ahead.
It's flame resistant, and so for what we do, there's 2 biggest concerns that we have with everything we do with working with energized lines. Is one electrocution, and the other one's arc flash, which is actually just flash rating and a fireball. So flames. And actually, when we were down there in New Smyrna, one kid did get burnt really, really bad, an apprentice of theirs, and so it's something that being that far away from home kind of really hit home with us. You know, leaving our family and kids, but he's doing better. He's still in the hospital, going through recovery, but it's nothing to joke about. You know, we take it serious, but the FR clothing is something that we wear to keep it so that if something bad like that does happen, then, you know, we'll be protected the best that we possibly can. Still be able to do our job.
So and they're long sleeve?
I haven't opened them yet. We just got them. I'm sure they are, though. They have to be, I think, for the protection. But I don't know when we'll get back down to Florida. But if we do, we'll look the part. Thank you all so much for everything you did down there for those folks and representing us so well.
Thank you, Ryan.
So, it's not practical for any municipal utility to have 200 linemen on standby ready to pick up the pieces after a terrible storm comes together. So programs like the MAP, Mutual Aid Partners, is just a great thing that the APPA has put together, and we're happy to be a part of and support. As always, Mayor Bark, thanks for having us on the show and being able to talk about the things that we do here at MPW.
I would like to thank MPW for discussing public power and their experiences in Florida. And of course, to all the sponsors, filmmakers, musicians, and volunteers who are helping make this year's Muscatine Music and Independent Film Festival a success. See you next time, and remember to be your best.